Hello students, let us begin with the new sessions on Unit 2. The topic name is Type Study. Before I begin, let me clear one thing. It is just because of the election, the buildings are sealed and the children should not suffer in this corona pandemic. So, it is decided to send some videos for the time being. As soon as the physical classes commences, there will be midterm exams on Unit 1, which includes 4 topics: the living world, biological classification, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. On this Unit 1, just to understand the pattern of question paper, I have prepared one question paper for 70 marks. It is already posted on the Google Classroom. Go through it and you need to submit this next week whenever the date, day and venue is intimated. We are taking signature after submitting this assignment. It is not only solved question paper but all the assignments on Unit 1, which is on 4 topics. You need to bring, and this paper you have to solve either on the long sheets or you can continue in the same assignment book. So let us begin with the new topic under Unit 2. Unit 2 is named as Structural Organization in Organisms, which includes morphology of flowering plants. In this topic, only flower is retained. Rest all portion is deleted. From plant anatomy, only the leaf anatomy, the diagrammatic representations of sectional view of isobilateral leaf and dorsiventral leaf you need to study. Rest all things are deleted. In animal tissues, the topic I think it is going on in physical classes, which includes epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue, and followed by the topic name is Type Study. Here, total 3 animals are considered. One from phylum Annelida, one from phylum Arthropoda and one from phylum Chordata. Annelida is the first phylum in which we can see metamerism, means segmented body, eucoelomate, animals with true coelom, animals with well-developed organization. That's why animal is taken from this phylum is Pheretema posthuma. Common name is earthworm, popularly known as farmer's friend. From the largest phylum Arthropoda, which shows maximum diversity. From Arthropoda, the biggest group is class Insecta. And from this group, animal is Periplaneta americana, common name is cockroach. But in this year's 30% reduction, cockroach part is deleted. But remember students, this cockroach is included in the NEET exam. So should not ignore those who are appearing for the NEET exam next year. And the third type study from phylum Chordata is from class Amphibia, where animals are adapted for aquatic mode of life as well as adapted for terrestrial mode of life. So the most significant example from class Amphibia is Rana tigrina, is Indian frog. It is retained in this syllabus. In my today's session, I will deal with the external features, that is morphological peculiarities of Pheretema posthuma. Any type study is studied under 2 headings: morphology, anatomy, and if in detail then physiology. In this we are learning morphology and then anatomy. I will be covering morphology in this session. Under morphology, first is taxonomic position of that particular animal following lineal hierarchy from species to kingdom. Then the habitat, dwelling place of an animal. Then typical habits of the animal. And then external features showing dorsal view of the animal and ventral view of the animal, so that if we want to see internal structure, we need to dissect the animal. So to understand the plane of dissection, we must understand both the views of the animal along with the lateral sides. So let us begin with the systematic position of Pheretima posthuma. As you know, it is animal. Animals are multicellular eukaryotes motile. They belongs to kingdom Animalia. Pheretima comes under non-chordata, animals without vertebral column. And non-chordates are classified in 9 phyla based on the categories of classification. So this animal belongs to phylum Annelida. Main features of Annelida is animals with metamerism, body is covered by moist skin, they have locomotory organs which are extensions of the skin region, they have well developed organization with closed circulatory system. Coming to next class is Oligochaeta, as Pheretima show minute microscopic skin folds called setae for the movement. Then the genus name is Pheretima and species name is posthuma. Usually earthworms are found in rainy season and the favorite place is the moist soil. They are burrowing in nature. They make burrows. Now let me tell you one thing about earthworm here. There are mainly 3 groups of earthworms, usually reared for vermicomposting. Vermicompost is collected worm castings by rearing earthworms, which is ideal organic manure for organic farming. So here in vermicomposting, they are using 3 groups of earthworms. Epigeics. These are the earthworms which will feed on the surface of the soil. Whatever humus develops on the surface, the earthworms are feeding on that. Endogesics, the earthworms will make the horizontal burrows and then they creep vertically below the soil, horizontally below the soil. And anasics, these are the big earthworms we found in the forest which will dig the soil deep inside and make the vertical grooves, so that filled capacity, moisture or water holding capacity of the soil will increase. Basically, any earthworm is a burrowing animal, make the soil porous. It will feed on the humus, decomposing organic matter, release the waste which is rich in NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And these are the 3 elements which are essential for the growth and survival of the plants. So, earthworms are protected in the crop fields as a farmer's friend because these earthworms will make the soil fertile and allow luxuriant growth of the plant to get the great yield. Let us begin with the typical habits of the earthworm. It is a creeping animal. Locomotory structures are setae. It is also burrowing animal. It feeds on the dead leaves and the soil particles. Let us see now external features. Body is cylindrical, elongated. Anterior region is pointed. Posterior region is blunt. The overall length of earthworm comprises 180 to 210 segments. If you see the entire earthworm body, who is cylindrical, divided into equal segments, these are called metameres. If you see very closely, we can make out the grooves as if the annulae rings are fit one in the other. Inside, when you dissect the earthworm, we can see the septa, means partitions between each segment. Thus, anterior region of the earthworm having the first segment, peristomium. A dorsal skin fold of earthworm is known as prostomium, which act like a roof of the mouth. It is highly sensory. It will check the toxicity of the humus before it ingests. Then from segment 1 to 13, this region we call preclitellar region. 14, 15, 16 showing the thick shining band known as clitellum. It is glandular in nature, known for secretion. And from 17 segment till the last segment we call postclitellar region. Thus, there are three regions in earthworm body. 1 to 13 preclitellar, 14, 15, 16 is the clitellum, 17 to last segment is postclitellar region. Now, how to differentiate dorsal and ventral surface of the earthworm? If you just stretch the earthworm, we can see the dark line. It is a mid-dorsal blood vessel. That indicates a dorsal surface of the earthworm. Definitely, opposite side is a ventral surface. On ventral side, listen carefully, from 5th segment to 9th segment means 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. Between these segments, there are minute openings. These are the openings of spermathecae. Spermathecae are the bags which stores the sperms. Thus, 4 pairs of spermathecae located from 5th to 9th segment inside, and its opening we can see along the lateral sides, not exactly lateral, ventrally on either side. So total 4 pairs of openings of spermathecae we can see from 5th to 9th segment. As you come below, on the ventral side in 14th segment, there is one more microscopic opening through which female genital passage opens. So this is female genital aperture. As you come down below the clitellum, in 17th segment and in 19th segment, there are circular suckers. These are known as adhesive suckers. And in 18th segment, on ventral side, there are 2 male genital apertures. As earthworm is hermaphrodite, bisexual in nature, it has both female and male reproductive system together in one body. That's why we can see both openings here. Female genital apertures in the 14th segment, male genital apertures in 18th segment. Thus, from each segment, we can see the minute skin folds called as setae helping in locomotion. The entire earthworm body is covered by moist skin. It is always shining as there is a fluid secreted from the clitellum which will keep the earthworm away from the moist soil particles. And as the skin is the main organ for gaseous exchange, we call respiration. So here we can see cutaneous respiration, where moist skin is helping in exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Thus, in morphology, you should know 2 diagrams. Dorsal view of the earthworm showing 2 ends, anterior, posterior, 3 regions, preclitellar, clitellum and postclitellar. And ventral view of the earthworm showing 4 pairs of spermathecae between 5th to 9th segment, female genital aperture in the 14th segment, male genital apertures in 18th segments, and genital papillae, these are adhesive suckers, in 17th and 19th segment. Anterior opening is called mouth, helping in ingestion, and terminal opening is called anus, helping in ization. Thus, Pheretima posthuma, the loving animal by the farmers, is very essential for making the soil porous, enriching the soil with NPK, and it also helping in decomposition of the humus, giving mineral salts for percolation, and apart from that, it will complete its life cycle in very short duration. So it is completely harmless animal, need to be protected in their habitat. With this, I'll conclude today's session. Hope you understood all morphological peculiarities of Pheretima posthuma. Thank you very much. In the next session, you will learn the digestive system, in brief remaining systems, and again in detail reproductive system of the earthworm. Thank you very much.